Welcome everyone in Nigeria and the rest of the world. I am Gimba Umar and this is State of the Nation. Be part of the show. Tweet at Gimba Umar CTV. Use the hashtag State of the Nation to be part of the show. We're following up on the biggest stories yet. 26 Boko Haram members have surrendered to the military authorities in Damboa local government area of Borno State. The repentant terrorists were paraded on Friday in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital, after being quizzed by the military. They were said to have surrendered last week and turned over arms and ammunition, including rocket-propelled grenades, after which they were taken to Maiduguri for de-radicalization. The theater commander, Operation Lafia Dole, Major General Nicholas Rogers, joins us via telephone from Maiduguri. I want to thank you so much indeed, General, for coming on the show at this time. How did this come about that Boko Haram members are surrendering? Of course, they are surrendering to terrorist groups, largely defeated by the members carrying attacks on soft targets. Well, we don't have the theater commander online now. We'll try to establish that contact as quickly as possible. But those are some of the visuals that we got. And we're trying to establish how quickly we are able to go through that very latest development from the northeast of the country, and how well that is coming down and playing out for the military and indeed the authorities. And those are some of the pictures that we had coming in through earlier of Boko Haram members who surrendered at the Operation Lafia Dole headquarters in Maiduguri. We'll get to the theater commander much later on the show. But let's quickly move on to some very disturbing situations also in the country. We do understand that two communities, that's a different focus now, two communities, Sekanye and Takula, lying between Bajimba and Douda's district of Guma local government area, have become deserted as we speak. Even the few members of the communities left are seen moving their belongings with the intention of relocating to the Daudu IDP camp, where over 10,000 displaced persons are now taking refuge there. We'll try to get back to that story as well. But let's get to, I understand the General is now with us. I want to thank you so much indeed, General, for coming on the show at this time. How did this come about that Boko Haram members are surrendering, the terrorist group largely defeated, but with members carrying attacks on soft targets? How did this come about?
Because of the intensity of the operation that we are conducting, Sambisa forest particularly, and having taken over the soul of the Boko Haram enclave, which is the Camp Zero, and having suffered serious casualties. Some of them have escaped, very few of them have escaped, and those are the ones that are having issues with the...
Well, if you can hear me clearly, I'm trying to make sense of what you're saying. I didn't hear you clearly, but if you can hear me, let me ask you again. NEMA says that 5 persons were killed and 39 were injured on Wednesday following an attack by 2 suicide bombers on an IDP camp in Dalori. Well, are the insurgents now having access to the camps? I'm really concerned. All right, we'll try to establish that contact with Major General Rogers Nicholas. He is indeed the theater commander, Operation Lafia Dole. But let's shift gears now and go back to Abuja again, where we will try to establish the situation we are faced with in Benue State, where we understand that another IDP camp has been opened, bringing to 7 the number of IDP camps in that state. We're talking to Kenneth. He is Kenneth Giado. Is a consultant to the Benue State government. He joins us from our Abuja studios. Want to thank you so much indeed for coming on the show at this time. The police has submitted that residents are fleeing not as a result of insecurity that is being provided by them, but as a result of panic What do you think about that?
Thank you very much for having me. I don't think that will be the whole truth, because since the crisis broke up on the 1st of January, we've been monitoring the various communities, and just yesterday, we embarked on an extensive tour of the affected communities, and there's a near zero presence of security operatives in the affected areas. So the people are naturally afraid that if they leave their fate in the hands of those paid by the state to look after them, they may not live to see the next day. And that is why you're seeing a massive influx into very appalling IDP camps scattered all over the state, 7 at the last count.
So now, as it stands, the governor, Samuel Otom, is asking for assistance from the federal government and indeed the international community. Is the state handicapped?
Yeah, naturally, already Benue is not what you classify as a very wealthy state. Benue already has its own challenges in, reviving collapsed infrastructure. There is also the crisis of payment of emoluments to workers. There is a lot of tasks that the governor has set out to accomplish. And then to overload it, to bring an overload of 90,000 people in camps. 90,000 people, to look after 90,000 people solely paid for by the state, it's a bit asking for too much. The state government has, in its own way, done its best to live up to the challenge because they are the immediate shelter that the people know. But definitely the resources of the state are stretched at the moment. The state cannot go on providing infrastructure and looking after the welfare of the citizens, and again, catering for 90,000 people who are ordinarily very productive in their own various fields of endeavor, in their farms. They've abandoned their farms to come to IDP camps for safety.
I can imagine. I can imagine how. I can really imagine how disturbing it will be and challenging for the state government to take care of 90,000 people, as you put it there. That's the IDP figures you're reeling out in 7 camps there. But how soon do you think that these people can get back to their homes, get back to their farms?
Well, you see, the first law of nature is self-preservation. They will get back to their homes and their farms if those in control of the repressive apparatus of state give them the assurances that, yes, those who perpetrated this pogrom are arrested, have been arrested and apprehended, charged to court, and that those in charge of security have deployed their men to man those areas to provide security for them, that they can sleep and wake up without any much ado, and that they have assurances from the state that they can go about their normal business without fear of being ripped open by seemingly intractable headsmen, as the case is now.
Now, the chairman of the Nigeria Governors Forum and governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Kyari, has said that the crisis has not stopped because some people are benefiting from it. What do you think about that?
Well, I don't know whose business it is to benefit over the blood of people. If there are people who are going to benefit from that, then that's quite unfortunate. That means they are battered in blood, and they will surely account for that. But certainly no citizen of Benue State, having seen what we went through since the beginning of the year, no matter what the attraction is, nobody will want to wish for that kind of thing to happen again. If you have seen 73 bodies in one place at the same time, then you know what that means. If that doesn't provoke, if that doesn't convict the human spirit inside you, then nothing will. We're talking of human lives here.
So now, if the words of the governor is anything to go by as we wait for an empirical proof of his claims, what must be done to stop this if it is a money-making venture, as he puts it?
Well, first of all, this incident didn't just happen. Some people came together and threatened to carry out these attacks, and these people are known. So the first thing is to at least call these people to question them. in Africa, we say the witch cried yesterday and the child died the next day. So naturally, the first person you will ask is the person who raised that kind of alarm. Some people threaten the state because the state puts machinery in motion to safeguard the clashes between farmers and herders through the open grazing law. And then some people oppose it, and they have never hidden it. And then these attacks happened. And it's not as if they just happened. The state governor warned through several communications in writing that these things were coming. Nothing was done about it. So the first step to stop this is to, first of all, give the people there a sense of justice. So give them a sense of belonging, that they're citizens of a country.
Now, permit me to just butt in there again. What are your expectations now that the governor, David Umahi, of Ebonyi State Committee, is interfacing with the leadership of Miyati Allah, which is a group the Benue State governor has repeatedly called for arrest of their leadership and also that of the Cattle Hore? What do you think will come out of that committee?
Well, the expectations of Benue citizens is that those who carried out these attacks must be arrested. That is the starting point. Anything short of that will just be jaw to be politically correct or all that. It makes no meaning because it doesn't vitiate the grief of the people. You understand? The people are saying that their defenseless compatriots were attacked in cold blood and murdered. First of all, they should fish out the criminals and prosecute them. That would be the first step towards assuaging the anger in the land. Anything outside that, all the talk shops and all that will amount to nothing if the expectations of people are not met.
Okay, let me just put you. Let me just come in there very quickly and put you on hold for a minute or two. We'll get back to you in just a moment. We'll go on a short break now. State of the Nation. We'll be back in just a moment, where we'll also be looking at some other troubling developments in the country. Join us again.